click, button clicking. Oh, you want to go live on YouTube right now?
Let's go live.
It's going. It's going right now. Hold on. Do you see a little button up there that says you're
live on YouTube? What the heck? Are you serious? Button. Is this like live Facebook?
You want to go live on YouTube right now?
Let's go live.
It's going. It's going.
All right.
I gotta.
How come it's echoing in the background?
Okay, because I have to turn the sound off, because remember, when you're live, because like live television, imagine if something crazy happened and like or some devastating moment happened. You don't want the public to see that and be traumatized, so you have about a 15 to 20-second delay in the broadcast so that you can stop the video in case something happens. But we are live. This is Chip and Melanie from I'm calling from Oakland, California. Where are you, Melanie?
I'm in Kirkland, Washington, the epicenter. Well, one of the epicenters. I think New York trumped.
Okay.
But so, yeah, the original coronavirus started right here.
So you know what? Actually,
it started like a mile, like 1.2 miles from me up the street, down the road up the street.
I actually know that, and when I found that out, do you know how high my heart like jumped out of my chest when I realized that it was literally I knew that when I read that thing. I'm like, oh my God, Melanie is frigging. It's Kirkland. It says Kirkland. That's where it started. That's where you live.
Yeah.
So anyway, Melanie, what we're talking about today is Chip. Breathe, get in your moment, get in the body, get in the moment.
Here, I got shakers.
But I think it's really important that we each kind of like share a little bit about what we're experiencing in this situation and how we see it connected to our research, our philosophy, our outlook on the world, because you have some very specific ideas about what's happening in the world right now and what it means. And I have a few ideas about the implications and what it means. So first of all, how are you doing during this whole thing? I'm so worried about you.
Awesome. I'm freaking amazing. Okay, first of all, I think we should let people know how we know each other.
Okay.
Chip is my brother from another mother. I love you so much.
It's so
Chip.
true. We've known each other for 3 years, give or take a few months. Yeah. But this whole doctoral dissertation journey is where we came to meet at CIIS, California Institute of Integral Studies. And our work and our lives, the way the whole world is, we both figured out that all of this stuff intersects. It's all interconnected. It is part of the integral nature of things. And it doesn't matter whether you're studying philosophy or education or health or wellness. Right. It all interconnects. And so I love you and I miss you. And I'm a little freaked out. I'll be honest with you. I have days where I'm sober and like nothing, I'm chill. And I have days where I can't believe this is happening. Like, I think I'm in a dream.
I know. It's so awesome. I love it.
So why do you keep saying it's awesome? Tell me what you're saying.
Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, Aspen's coming to mind. So I just have to say, Aspen, I love you. That's my daughter. She's 21. She just graduated from Northern Arizona University. I know. So exciting. She's supposed to walk in May. She's supposed to walk with her class. That's been canceled until further notice.
Right.
And she was in Australia, right? So
is she back home now?
Yes. So we were going back and forth like 50-50. We're like, do we keep her there? We obviously can't fly her into the epicenter of the coronavirus here in Kirkland. Yeah. But her dad lives in Arizona and they've had less cases there. So 50-50, because we don't want her to have to go through the international airports to get home either. And then they announced that they were going to close the airport so that she would be stuck in Australia indefinitely, or not indefinitely. Well, yeah, until further notice.
Until further notice.
Yeah. So, I mean, Australia's not bad. She's out on the coast, and Newcastle, beautiful. So it wouldn't be a bad place to be stuck at all. But her ultimately, and we've just allowed it to be her decision, and we're going to support her either way. But she just thought if anything happened to us, right, family or her, she wanted to be closer to family. So Yeah, so she's in Arizona, and just in case the airlines like shut, and then we can't, we don't have access to gasoline or anymore. I went and got like 40 gallons of gas so that I could go drive and pick her up if I need to. So I feel better. So I feel safer having her home and a little bit more comfortable and all that. But yeah, why am I excited? Why am I the only person that's excited? Eric's got to be excited.
Well, you're particularly more energized by this than anybody I've seen, and I really want to know why.
Oh my gosh, because we have been the worst guests to Mama Earth, right? She's our home. She is our home, and we've just gone in and really just taken from her. It's just sad. It's broken my heart. When we started this program, right, at CIS, and I took Integral Sustainability with Dr. Jennifer Wells, I was literally face on the floor. I'm not even kidding. Jennifer can attest to this. I had never been more depressed in my entire life. Like when you get into the ecology and the environment and our habitat, right? Like, and animals that destroy their habitat destroy themselves in the process, right? And in my study, my research is like an integral, holistic, earth-based approach to healing depression, suicide, addiction, right, and trauma. So we've lived in a traumatized state. The collective, right, the collective conscious, we feel it. Everybody feels the weight. Every time I take any type of, like, how much garbage I have to throw away just myself as an individual, like every time I throw plastic away, even if it's recycled, I just feel bad.
Yeah.
It's heavy. It's heavy, and it's created like this momentum, right? There's a tipping point. It's like, how much can we work to, like how much can we keep progressing? Like we've progressed to the point of what? We've progressed to the point of breakdown, right? Like there's progression and then there's rest, right? So I started I started Facebook Live every Tuesday from 1:11 to 1:12 to just pause and breathe. Just pause and breathe.
You just go on and you breathe with people?
Yeah, I actually do it a little bit longer. So I log in a little before, and then we wait till 1:11, and then 1:11, the intention for this 1 minute breath is to connect to the universal frequency of love.
That is so interesting. You know, what's interesting about that is because the diversity and differentiation between how each of us might express that is so different. So yours is a 1 minute breath. And I thought to myself, what does the world need right now? What do I need right now? When I think of feeding my soul, I thought I'm going to do a 3 minute dance, put on some music and a 3 minute dance. And I want everybody, like, for once a day to just, or at least, well, I'm going to start once a week first, and just dance with me and just forget about everything, drop your inhibitions, and just put on some groovy music that is, of course, royalty free, and dance with me. And I'm going to, I'm going to do, you're doing the breath, and then I'm going to do the move it out, get in your body, be present with yourself, love yourself. And to me, that's my approach to reconnecting.
Are you doing this as like a weekly ritual?
Well, it's going to start today. Actually, it's funny because that we're doing this right now and we're streaming this. And by the way, I sent you the link to the streaming on the YouTube.
Great.
It's in the chat there.
Have you done Facebook Live before?
I have done Facebook Live. We're YouTube living right now. But I haven't.
YouTube Live. Have you done YouTube Live before?
No, we're doing it right now.
Oh my gosh. Me neither. This is exciting.
This is it. This is this moment with you.
And we got to dance. Okay, so we're going to do the 1 minute breath exercise. So before we're done, and then we'll launch your 3 minute dance.
Okay.
And Chip, tell us, you're a professional dancer.
Oh yeah. But that's not the deal here. This is about.
You got to tell everyone a little bit about your background. It's very cool.
Yeah. that'll come in
I want to be
time.
a professional dancer.
Yeah, but this is more about just being human and being in your body, and you don't need any skills or talent or backgrounds. And yes, if it makes people feel more comfortable to know that I have a little dance in my background and that you're safe with me and that everything you do is beautiful and that you're welcome and accepted as you are, then there you go.
Perfect.
But let's do your breath.
Well, oh, you
I
want
like
to
that.
Okay, I have to go get the rose quartz you gave me.
Oh, good. I love that.
Oh, I love my rose quartz, Chip.
Can you believe that I took that off my altar? That
No.
it called to me. It called to me from my altar and said, "I need send me to Melanie. You need to give me away. You've been blessed. You've been
Okay,
blessed."
I think I told you, I think I might have texted you this. So, and we'll get into it at our next Facebook Live, kind of the story behind this, but you did not know this, Chip, when you sent it to me. So the reason that Chip sent this to me, I adore you. I can't tell you enough how much I love you. Is that I lost my son tragically. This is probably gonna make me cry. I don't think I've ever been able to say it without crying. But I lost my son tragically to an accidental overdose of from fentanyl that he didn't know was laced in the drugs that he was taking the night that he was for his birthday party. So he passed over November 12th, this last November 12th, 2019. And it's, been just heartbreaking, gut wrenching. And yeah, there's been days that's been really tough to, right, put one foot in front of the other and keep going, keep wanting to keep going. And so, and again, I'll tell these stories later, but Reese has shown up so magically. And I like to consider myself a scientific woo-woo. I like the woo-woo, but I have to understand the science behind it to make sense of it.
Yeah.
And so I've never had experience with spirit guides. I know people do, and I think it's amazing, but I personally haven't had experience with spirit guides or a lot of contact on the other side. Have had grandparents and things that I'm really close to pass over, but haven't really felt that strong connection. And so when Reese passed over, once I was able to lift myself up out of that, the depths of grief, and look up again for the first time, I literally saw his face in the sky. I texted you that, right? And so we'll share that later. And so I literally saw his face in the sky with his like little rainbow bandana going across, the little rainbow at the end of the bandana. So he's shown up to me so many times in the form of a hummingbird and with roses. He's given me so many roses. And so when you sent this, the day that you sent this, I was actually having like a really hard day. And so when I got home, there was a little rose quartz on the front of my doorstep, right? And so that's why this is like even extra special, is because he keeps sending me roses. And so when you told me that you had never taken anything off of your altar, so tell us about your altar.
Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something. First of all, I'm going to take away my virtual background. I am just for a moment.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you
I want to see the bamboo virtual background.
This is my real house, and this is my altar right here. And I'm not going to go deep into it. It's a sacred space for me, but you can see there's a little Buddha sitting there, a little green Buddha right there. And then you have these beautiful statues, some for virility, some for prayer, meditation. There's a container for my incense, but they're sacred objects that have been given to me or that I've gathered from travels around the world, around this planet, and they have powerful energy. And it's a place that I go when I go there and just am with those objects of energy when I have something deep or heavy on my mind. And my heart had been heavy for you, Melanie, and it was, wow, I thought, I don't even know what to do, and I don't know how to, and I was there futzing with the altar, and something, as this beautiful stone calls out and says, this stuff is all, you've acquired it at a moment when it helped your soul, it helped your spirit. you have been blessed by this, and now it's time to pass it on. And I was like, pass on something from my altar? Are you kidding? Like, I've never.
How
like,
long have you had this altar? And what
since
inspired
forever.
your altar?
Since forever.
How long have you had your altar, and what inspired it?
What happened? What inspired it? Actually, for anybody watching, I'm thinking now, now that I want to try the Facebook Live thing.
Can we do both? Can we do?
That's what I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna try something for a second. because now I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and do Facebook Live?
If we can do both, that'd be amazing. Feed two birds